So I'm just looking at myself all the time, like, oh, that's just me now. That's just what I look like. This is just
It's just my face. I have to accept it for what it is. Hey team, and welcome to episode 2 of Jeans and a Nice Top. This week I am back and with a bang because I still can't quite believe it, to be honest, but the person I was interviewing this week was Instagram and Gymshark athlete at Naturally Stefanie. I mean, obviously we're on best friend basis, so I call her Steph because that's how we roll here. In this episode, we discuss a plethora of topics, from the truth and reality of working for Gymshark and being one of their most renowned models, to being married in your 20s and what that actually means, and most importantly, what is your Harry Potter house, and how that pretty much dictates and rules your life. There are red flags, so many sticky toffee puddings, and all of the gossip and giggles. I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I do, and make sure to listen out for an exclusive discount code for this podcast. You don't want to miss it. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Oh, and follow me on Instagram at Smile to Health, or if you just want podcast stuff, at Jeans and a Nice Top Pod. Ciao! Hey team, welcome to another episode of Jeans and a Nice Top, and today I have the fabulous at Naturally Stefanie, if you don't already follow her on Instagram. She is the founder of Vegan Aesthetics, an incredible company designed around helping people achieve their health and fitness goals in a balanced way, really, as just nourishing all aspects of the individual. She's also a Gymshark model and athlete, a successful YouTube and blue tick Instagrammer, ladies and gentlemen. She has the blue tick. We're in the presence of a celeb. And she's also just a fabulous Scottish lass. Like, I'm obsessed with the Scottish accent. I think I can do it. I really can't do it. I just embarrass myself. Maybe we'll whip it out later. But this is my little intro, but I'm going to bring her on and get her to introduce herself. And you're going to be blessed with her just absolute gorgeous self. I'm obsessed with her. I've known her forever, and I'm going to shut up now because I'm proper fangirling over here. Steph, can you tell everyone who you are and what it is that you do?
what an intro. That was actually amazing.
Thanks so much.
I'm like holding my countertop, like, oh, like, she makes me sound so cool.
You are.
Well, you introduced me well, but my name is Stefanie, and my brand, my page, everything on social media is called Naturally Stefanie. I've been on there 4 or 5 years now, and kind of the focus has been around plant-based food and fitness, so it's bringing the both of them together and just showing people how to live like a healthy, sustainable, balanced lifestyle. You can reach your health and fitness goals, but you don't have to be extreme about it. Just having good fun on the internet.
Also, she's really underplaying herself here because she made like vegan food and weightlifting cool before it was cool. We're like one of the OG people that did the booty gains, that ate dessert, that made all these incredible vegan recipes when all we could get at restaurants was chips.
And salad.
Literally, I go out for dinner now and I'm like, I forget that I went through the hardcore days.
Yeah, I actually was talking about this not too long ago, and it was my sister that brought it up because I was eating Ben & Jerry's the other day, just casually living my life.
The best.
Love it, just having that. I actually had Ben & Jerry's and sticky toffee pudding, and I was just in my element. And
wow.
And she said, remember you used to make ice cream out of frozen bananas? And I was like, well, what a time to die.
Throwback.
Oh, yeah. Banana ice cream, never again. No thank you. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it's not Ben & Jerry's, so.
Oh my gosh, no, the Ben & Jerry's cookie dough flavour and the peanut butter Oreo one.
All of them.
I remember seeing it on a Facebook ad quite a while ago, and like America had got it way in advance to us, and obviously because on Instagram it was mainly US people really to begin with, so you used to just get jealous of all the great stuff they had to offer, and we just didn't get out of it.
Not fair, but it's okay, it's all been rectified. We're good now.
We're on the other side, people. We're on the other side. Speaking of dessert, I know you're the absolute dessert queen, so what are your top 3 dessert choices, would you say?
The other day I was sitting, and for whatever reason I was like on the laptop working away. I had my notepad next to me, and I just wrote down my favourite desserts in order, like to myself. I just wrote down I mean, cake is definitely it. I love cake. So I'll just tell you my list that I wrote down actually, because you're laughing.
Ready.
So I like Victoria sponge has got to be it. Like I love
That's a classic.
like I love chocolate cake and I love chocolate, but I feel like you actually do hit a point with chocolate. But I feel like with like vanilla and Victoria sponge, there's no point, there's no end until you all of a sudden your body just goes, whoa, what just happened? Like you just
What have you done?
So I mean, I love like a Victoria sponge cake, but of course it needs to have vanilla ice cream and custard, and so good. And then I like chocolate cake. Then there's sticky toffee pudding, and then there's cheesecake.
So many categories. Sticky toffee pudding I forgot about, and then what brand is it? They do it in a little glass jar and you heat it up. Greek puddings. Yeah, their sticky toffee pudding. Oh my god, it like changed my world.
You had the Wicked Kitchen one?
No.
In Tesco, it comes in a big tray. I had it last night. Me and a spoon. Fabulous time.
Oh wow.
It comes in like a
Oh, I'm drooling.
No, I know. You just microwave it. You put it in the oven for 40 minutes, but I wasn't waiting 40 minutes. Microwave it takes 2.5 minutes to microwave or something like that. Oh my god, so good.
Ton. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to change the subject because I really want cake now.
Coffee shake, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so hungry.
Literally give me pudding. Speaking of lockdown, I know I've been going insane. I'm so glad that we finally got like a date where we can actually be free and have a life again. But that being said,
you have a date. The Scottish people have a date.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, we're gonna pretend that you guys have a light at the end of the tunnel. You're gonna get out of this, okay?
Yeah,
you will. If we're an absolute shambles, so if we can sort ourselves out, Scotland have definitely got it together. I'm holding it out for you. But oh gosh, I dropped you in it there. But what I'm asking everyone is what you're currently watching and what you're currently reading, just as a good one to share with people so you can have new things. All of my followers love a good TV binge and a book. But I mean, if you're not a book reader, just something else that's inspired you or an Instagram page.
Well, so see, to be honest, I don't really watch that much on the TV. I'm not the biggest fan. I tend to watch things I've watched before. So on Netflix, I'm like, oh, Vampire Diaries is back, let's watch that. Or it's on. Like, I'll just stick it on, and it's just kind of I might watch
it's nice to have in the background.
It's just there, but I'm not currently actually watching anything right now. But I am reading a book right now, so I've started getting into reading again. I'm trying with it. I'm not the biggest reader, but I am trying.
It's my New Year goal as well. I'm going to do 25 books while I'm 25, is what I've told myself.
I'm going to stick with one I want. I'll do 12.
Yeah, go with it. Build yourself up.
Yeah. So I'm currently reading a book called Eat, Pray, FML. Have you heard
Okay.
And it's basically...
No, I was going to say Eat, Pray, Love then.
No, I know, everybody thinks that. So basically, it's a woman in Los Angeles. It's a real story, like it's her book. A woman in Los Angeles basically, I mean, I don't even know how I came across it. I don't even know why I'm reading it. But basically, got married and found out her husband was cheating on her with a 19-year-old. She then falls in love with this other guy like 2 months later, and there's this whirlwind romance, and they're supposed to go travel the world together. But then he dumps her, so she goes around the world herself, and it's this little like solo journey to find herself after all this like mess up of love type of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it and I'm like, this is so great, and she swears
so invested.
I just can't put it down. I'm just like loving it, like all the drama in it, and I'm just like, oh my god.
I love that. I'm like such a sucker. I hate myself for it, but I really get sucked into things like Love Island because I just love the drama, because my life is so uninteresting in that area.
See, to be honest,
I've
never watched a reality TV show in my life other than Teen Mum. That was the only thing I ever watched.
Teen Mum?
I loved it. It came out when I was like 15, and I still follow the people on Instagram, like, 12 years later. I'm just like, oh my god, I wonder what
I love this.
Kids are like teenagers and all this, but yeah, I've actually never watched Love Island or like on any of those like Geordie Shores or any of those things. I've never watched them. But this book is different. I don't know. I just feel like this woman's just like going through this, just like, can I swear? Shit show.
Yeah, of course you can. Swear away.
Yeah, it's just like shit show of a marriage, and she's just like coming out of it, and it's just so 21st century, and it's just so like, do you know what, this actually happens, and it's not kind of like sugarcoating like that a relationship didn't work out and that you would get into all this. It was just like, do you know what, this is just fucked up, and I'm writing a book on it, and she's a bestseller, and it's like, oh, it's amazing. And I've listened to her podcast and everything. Like, my life's all good, but I've just listened to this woman's like travesty of whatever's happened. but it's so great.
I think it just makes you feel a bit better, because I know that sounds so bad to like enjoy someone else's downfall, but it's not. It's because I think your 20s are just so mental.
Oh, they are.
You'll be doing really well in one area, and then the other area is literally crashed, burned, set on fire, extinguished itself and set on fire again. Just to have someone be failing somewhere, and you be like, okay, it's not just me.
Yeah. So what age are you? You're about 25, aren't you?
Yeah, 25. How old are you? I always forget.
27.
Oh, okay, so there's not a big gap.
Dead, but older.
Still for 20 something. I mean, you're smashing life goals.
Well, just be 20 something, I know. Because was it my mum the other day actually said, she went, oh, your next big birthday, you're going to be 30. And I was like, are you trying to die, Janice? Like, what is this?
What's your agenda here? No.
I know. But see, to be honest, I actually follow, like, the most of the people I follow on social media and all this kind of stuff, and books I read and like things I watch do tend to be people 25 and upwards. It's people that are kind of mid-20s, early 30s, that kind of age, because I feel like I love this age. Like, I absolutely love this age. I feel like your teenage years, early 20s is just kind of like, oh, you don't really know what's going on type of thing. But I feel like I know more of who I am as a person right now, and like I'm an adult. Like, I have a house and a husband and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm also like still really young.
Still got your whole life ahead of you. We glorify our early 20s quite a lot, but actually most of it is spent hungover, broke, and no idea what you want to do. Whereas your later 20s, you start to kind of not settle, but find your balance. And
you kind of find like who you are and like your voice, your image, your whole persona type of thing.
Yeah. Confident in it as well.
Like, I've always been a confident person, 100%. Like, I'm not necessarily shy, I'm definitely not quiet, but I feel like just lately, especially the past probably like year or two, just like come at me, world. Like, if you don't like me, then you know where to go. But
got it. Yeah, because it must have been hard for you as well, because you grew up in the spotlight, so to speak, because you started your Instagram when you were early 20s, right?
Yeah, early 20s. So I mean, to be honest, it's changed so much, and this is what Sophie and I were talking about earlier when I was on Instagram with her. Like, it's just changed so much from what it was to what it is now, and there's positives and negatives to that. But I feel like it's gone by so fast at the same time that I still don't exactly know what I'm doing. But like,
do any of us, let's be honest.
Yeah, like I do kind of know, but I don't. And yeah, it's funny. As I go with the flow, but with a grand plan.
You're very good because you've got your niche. So you're in the fitness and wellness niche, I would say. And you're very good at doing that sector. But then you've got branches out, still support that. Whereas I feel like at the moment, everybody wants to be an influencer. It's kind of just really oversaturated and not a lot of elite content, like really good content anymore. You guys are the OG ones that had a purpose behind what you did.
Yeah.
Whereas now I feel like just everyone's just posting pictures of their butt and being like, let me be the next
big thing.
Big thing. Yeah.
I still don't like being called an influencer. It's not that I don't like it, that sounds so stroppy, like, oh, don't call me an influencer.
It undermines you in a way, I guess, doesn't it? Because you create influence, but actually you're a content creator, you're a businesswoman, you are a brand owner, you're so much more than just an influencer in inverted commas.
I think that's what it's about, because the amount of times that, like, if you meet new people and stuff and they'll say, oh, what do you do? And if somebody butts in before you and says, oh, she's an influencer, and you can tell right away their face, and I'm like, no. I said, that's part of what I do. I said, but I own a business, like an online health and fitness business. And when you go into that and you tell them that, I feel like they're like, oh, right, okay. Not that there's anything involved with being an influencer whatsoever. Absolutely nothing.
No.
There is a stigma attached to it that you are just like, I don't know, that people don't take it very seriously.
I think it's because it's not an understood area, is it? People still don't know a lot about the job of an influencer in inverted commas, and so they're just pinning it against the people they know, which is either celebrities or people off these reality TV shows who actually don't really content create. They just post pictures and get paid for it. Whereas your area of expertise is so different. It requires a level of skill. It requires knowledge in your field.
Yeah, I think that's where it kind of went, kind of sideways. And again, nothing against anyone that like comes off a reality TV program. And,
no, not at all.
No, because that's their thing. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah, that's their expertise.
Yeah, but that didn't exist 2, 3, 4 years ago. When people that were on social media were trying to build their own brand, were trying to like have a business out of it, had a message, had a purpose, had very strategic content that requires a lot of planning and effort and all these kind of things. And then when this whole new world of influencer came out, which was more to do with reality TV stars and all this kind of stuff, it's definitely separate. Like there's different categories of influencer, if you like, because they're kind of Z-list celebrities at the end of the day, people that come off of
that's very true.
shows. So it's all very different, and no one is better than the other. Everyone's just, it's just
different.
It's different, yeah, it's just different.
Did you, when you first started out, because I know did you study psychology at uni?
Yeah, so I started this when I was just finishing uni, and I finished my 4-year degree, psychology, and it was just kind of doing this as like a hobby on the side, and then I got a full-time job for a year, like doing your whole plan after uni, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was like, this is a thing. Like, social media is a thing. Like, people make YouTube videos for a living. People have websites and blogs and brands and businesses. And I was kind of thinking, do you know what? I think I could do this as a job. And then I went, yes, I can. I don't want to be a psychologist anymore. Like, why do I want to listen to people's problems all day?
I want to create things and be awesome.
Yeah, and I've always been such a, I'm just a very, outgoing person. Like, I like to be doing things and creating things and filming things. And
you're so, full of life that I feel like we're very similar in this. I mean, I'm not a content creator, but we're very similar in that we're those kind of people that just wouldn't work with a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Need space to open up, and I mean, obviously you pick your hours, but you need the space to be able to create and grow and bounce off your own ideas.
Yeah, it's pretty much about just me being within myself and putting out whatever I feel like I want to do with the world, and not very much not working under someone else's kind of rule and in a job that I'm maybe not, it's not a passion of mine or anything like that. So I just thought, you know what, we're going to give this a go, we're going to give this a bash, and it was the best decision I ever made.
Hell yes it is, because look at you now. And for those listeners that haven't checked out Vegan Aesthetics, you 100% need to. I've been doing it for the past 2 months now, and it's completely changed the way I train. I love fitness, I always have, but I get so bored because I get stuck in a rut doing the same thing. And diet's always been, I have a complicated history with food anyway, so diet's always been one of those things where I either eat too much or I don't eat enough, or not the right amount for training. And it's what's great about your website is that it does achieve, it's balanced. It's not, there's no restriction. It's not tofu, brown rice and broccoli. It's colourful, enjoyable food that other people can enjoy. The training is fun and makes you feel strong. Hey team, quick interlude from your favourite podcaster to let you know that we have an exclusive 15% off discount code for Vegan Aesthetics using the code JEANS, all in capital letters, JEANS. Type in the code now to get 15% off everything the website has to offer.
That's what the whole idea of it was. When I launched Vegan Aesthetics 4 years ago now, and it was just a case of,
it's mental.
The fitness industry was booming, it was huge, but it was all about the aesthetics, hence the aesthetic side of vegan aesthetics. And it was all about that, but there was it was all chicken, brown rice, broccoli, that kind of thing, but there was no vegan version of it. And at the same time, I wanted to do that, but also do it in a way that wasn't tofu, rice and broccoli. I was literally, fun food. I want to make balanced food, meals that people just still go, right, okay, so tonight I'm making lentil bolognese, or tonight I'm making this tempeh wrap, or I'm making pancakes on a Sunday.
Your pancake recipe is to die for.
I wanted that. People need to enjoy life and enjoy fitness and enjoy eating healthy, but balancing it at the same time. And so that's why I created it, and we kind of introduced the 12-week plan. So so every 4 months it changes, obviously, so that people don't get bored, so they can change it up. So all new recipes. There's obviously a gym workout plan and a home workout plan, and there's so much more to come, and I'm so excited.
Oh, is there any spoilers? Or are we not allowed?
Not yet.
Basically, watch this space, ladies and gentlemen. She's just going to keep growing and growing.
Yeah.
So you're a Gymshark athlete. We all see these on Instagram, but what's a day in the life of a Gymshark athlete? What is the reality of the job? What do you love about it? What do you find challenging about it? I mean, I know you've met so many incredible people, and the community side of Gymshark is sensational. I think that's what makes them so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us some BTS.
They have changed so much. So I signed with Gymshark about three and a half years ago, maybe about then. And at the time, like, people knew who they were, but you know, they just had like a couple of female bits of clothing. They weren't like a huge deal or anything yet. And then, but obviously I knew who they were, I was interested, and I was like, yeah, let's get on board with them. Now they are absolutely astronomically annihilating every single aspect. Like, they are killing it, and
no other brand can compete.
No.
They're ahead of every trend. It's crazy because they're Birmingham-based brand, which is literally half an hour from where I come from. And I know a few people that went to school with the owners, and they were like, we would have never have imagined that these two troublemakers would have created such an iconic and worldwide phenomenon.
So like every single person I've met such good friends from it, and everyone's so nice, and it's just community. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. Like, I'm not going to sit and say that people are nice when they aren't nice, or like sugarcoat things, but honestly, they are one of the best companies I've ever worked with, and obviously I work with them long term, and I've had so many opportunities with them as well, like going to their events and photo shoots, and this world is just mental. Like, it's honestly mental to me. When I go on a photo shoot, I'm like, why am I at a photo shoot? Like,
living the dream.
It's like, this is so crazy, and it's just amazing. But at the same time, they're so down to earth, and everything's so chill, and nobody's like, ooh, I have 1 million followers, like, check me, or anything like that. It's like everyone's just like chill and nice, and just all doing the same thing, all have the same goals. I get a lot of parcels, which is the highlight of it.
I live for your try-on hauls. This is the thing about Steph as well. She hasn't just conquered the Instagram world, she's conquered the YouTube world, and now the TikTok world. I personally love the Harry Potter TikToks. I'm a fellow Potterhead, so...
TikTok is though, right? It's so Gen Z dominated.
Oh gosh, I know.
And they're so nasty.
It's very catty, isn't it? I like to watch TikToks. I very rarely post.
I go through it, so I do post on TikTok, but I very much like go through a phase of like one day a week where I'm like, right, I'm just going to make loads of TikToks today, and like that's the focus, just create content there and try and reach a new audience and that kind of stuff, and try and reach the younger audience, but more so from like a look, I've been 18, 19, like this is maybe what not to do type of thing, and like all that kind of vibe. But yeah, it's just, I find it just so crazy, like this whole cancel culture, and like they're only interested in these like major LA celeb style TikTokers who live in these like content houses and all this, and it's just so, TikTok is a bizarre world, and you would never expected it to be, social media to be that way like 4 or 5 years ago, like never in a million years. When you started Instagram, and your biggest concern was like what pre-made Instagram filter to use on your photo. Like, do I use Valencia? Like, where do we go?
I was the OG Valencia user. That was before Lightroom presets and all of that came into play.
Yeah, so it's a funny world, but yeah, Gymshark, I feel so blessed. I feel so happy that they reached out to me so long ago, and I'm still with them and growing with them, and just watching them just dominate the world basically is amazing.
I was going to say, I bet that's so exciting for you because you were there from the beginning, and it's nice to know that they nurture the people that they have as their sponsors and their ambassadors, because I think as an outsider you just presume that they take people, they drop people, because there's so many, but then actually it's just because they have such a wide reach, they need diversity to advertise, and their stuff actually works, so it sells itself. My butt has never looked so good as it has in a pair of Gymshark leggings.
I know, sometimes I wear my leggings and I put on something else and I think, if I just catfished myself, like, do I actually look like that?
Literally, Gymshark catfishes us, because you put the leggings on and then you'll put jeans on and you're like, where did my butt go?
Exactly.
Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Did not sign up for this.
This is why I only wear gym clothes now. This is why.
I know. Do you know what? That's the one good thing, because I live in gym wear anyway, like you, and lockdown has given me the excuse to do that and not have to explain myself or pretend that I'm going on a run or something.
Exactly.
Going in a bit more, and then I will back off from the influencer life. Do you find that there's a lot of pressure to be accessible 24/7? I know that I have a job that's online. I'm also an actress, so I need to be available all the time. Yeah, and my muggle job is a social media manager, so I do like the behind the scenes, but for other brands. And I find it really hard to make sure I switch off, and as a freelancer, make sure I have weekends off and things like that. Would you say that you find that a challenge with your profession?
Honestly, I think it comes in phases. I feel like sometimes I get on like a roll and I'm like, right, I'm on my phone and my laptop like 10, 12 hours a day, and it's like, what is this Saturday? Who cares? Like, especially during lockdown, actually, I think I've been worse during lockdown because I'm like, well, I can't do anything else anyway. I'm like, there's nothing else to do anyway, so I'd rather just like
That's so true.
Be like working and doing stuff. But at the same time, I don't feel like pressure to answer DMs right away or answer my comments right away. Like I normally do my DMs and my comments either like kind of in the morning, like when I wake up and I've actually woken up and I kind of go on my phone and have a look. I know a lot of people are like, oh, your morning routine, you shouldn't use your phone. I use my phone. I go on, I look through my DMs and just kind of see what's going on there and the comments and stuff like that. But I don't think I ever feel pressure. What I do feel is that actually, whilst it's amazing working for yourself and working your own hours and all this kind of thing, I feel I probably work more than I would if I work. Because, like, for example, my husband will come home from work and that time he's like, right, what are we doing? And I'm like, well, I'm working. I'm still
going, yeah.
Just he's like, he'll come home at say 4 o'clock or whenever he finishes because it changes. Come home at 4 o'clock and then that's him until the next day.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to go watch TV or oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you don't have necessarily like okay, this is me finished for the whole of the day. This is me finished right now. And then I might go back in an hour or I might do something else later on. Or what I do find is when you're on holiday, so I cannot say that I have taken, like I go on holidays, I go places, but my laptop and my phone do also come with me, and we have a great vacation together. Whilst I mean, obviously I go on holiday and I will maybe do like 2 hours a day just to make sure I'm like maintaining things.
Everything's ticking over and things.
Yeah, like the admin kind of stuff. But like throughout the day, you're taking videos, you're taking photos, you're doing all that stuff. But most people do that anyway. When they're like on holiday, you're recording stuff and documenting it. But it's the kind of admin stuff, and you keep up with that, and you probably do. I mean, I'd say it's probably I do keep it to a minimum though, so because I'm like I am on holiday, I'm trying to like.
You have to set some kind of boundary.
To be aligned, so whether it's just 2 hours a day, or like even just an hour a day, or if like we're going to the pool and I'm like I get really fidgety, I can't sit still, it drives me nuts.
Yeah,
I can't do it. So I mean, we can go on holiday and Marco can lie on a sun lounger for 8 hours, and I'm like, play with
I can't.
Something like I'm like
play. Let's go in the pool and I'm going on an adventure.
So like, I'll bring my laptop down, and I'll just be sitting on my laptop, or I'll be like doing something on my phone. And actually it works because, like I said, he can do that. We'll go on holiday and he will just be like, let's have a sunbathing day, and I'm like, shoot me in the face. I don't want to do that now.
I'm like, so glad I'm not the only one with that, because I always thought I was just an overexcitable puppy. But I used to always, I mean, I still now wherever I go, like even a tube ride that's going to be like 30 minutes, I need things to occupy myself with. I can't just sit there. I need to have like my phone, a book, a notepad and pen,
my downtime, like when I don't do anything, is when I drive. I love driving. I know it sounds weird, but I do. I get because you can't go on your phone when you drive. You can't go on your laptop when you drive. Like
that's so true.
So
you kill people.
Exactly. So like if I'm going like a drive or something, like if I'm going somewhere, because I live in like a town, so if I'm going somewhere, it's normally at least 20 to 30 minutes away. So the music's on, the playlist's on, and I'm just like jamming, and I'm like thinking about life, and I'm just like, this is my like downtime, if you like, as a driver, you know. But yeah, like after that, I'm just like, right, cool, what am I doing now? And it's just, it's not like I have pressure to do it. It's probably just in my personality.
Yeah, you like to be busy, you like to be productive and keep going. Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Lockdown knocked my productivity a little bit, but I'm starting to bring it back, and I'm actually enjoying the busy. I think I needed to stop, but I can't stop for too long. The busyness is what I thrive off. I need that kind of pressure and that fire under my arse, so to speak, to keep me going. One question I really wanted to dive into was about being married in your 20s. For those that don't know, you've got a lovely hubby, Marco. And how long have you guys been married for now?
It'll be 2 years in April.
That's so exciting. I bet it feels weird to say that.
Actually, Again, it's weird to say. It is.
But I wanted you to dive in, I guess, because as much as the marriage system's definitely changed a lot now, like not everyone does get married. Some people still want it. Some people don't get married in churches. Other people do. But I think it's definitely one of those girly childhood things that we've all had planned since we were like 6 years old. But what are the pros and cons, do you think, of being married younger?
Funny story. So I was never someone that was fussed about marriage. I didn't ever I didn't necessarily want it. I was just
kind of indifferent.
I just never thought about it. Like it never crossed my mind, and I never had a dream wedding that I thought about when I was a child. Like nothing. The only time I started thinking about weddings is when I got proposed to, and I was like, oh, okay, what am I doing then? Like, what's my theme? And it's so I've never been someone like I would quite happily not be married or happily be like it just depended. I was never, and we never even really, obviously we spoke about it throughout a relationship, but it wasn't like when you're going to propose to me, like I want to get married. Like it wasn't ever a really serious thing that I wanted or had.
It wasn't a tick list that you had to.
So I mean, pros and cons. Are there any pros and cons? I feel like at the end of the day, it's a relationship. A relationship is a relationship, whether you have it legally bound or not.
You can't leave your man-child as easily.
I know. Yeah, I mean, it seems like people always say, oh, like, how's the married life type of thing? And I'm like, it's the same. Like, maybe I have to sometimes think about things slightly differently. Like maybe if it was something that involved both people, or if it was like financially, like something like, you know, if I was to decide I don't want to live here anymore, like maybe, like at the end of the day, like I mean I have a relaxed view on most things in life, so at the end of the day it's a relationship. Every relationship has pros and cons, whether you're married or not, whether it's you know, everybody has good days, everyone has bad days. That's just what it is. Nothing's perfect. But you know, being 25 and getting married was, I mean, half of my friends, and it's funny because there's no timeline for it. There's none. You could get married.
And I think that's so important to articulate because, which is why I asked the question, because there's such a range. I go on about it all the time about how once you leave school, everyone does life differently. And I think that's what people really struggle with, is because they don't have anything to tick off. They don't know if they're doing it right or not, because there is no right or wrong. So like you said, some people get married at 18, some people never get married. Some people have children, some people don't. It's all organic and what feels right for you.
Yeah, and my sister, right, for example, is 25 right now. And actually, if she was me, would be getting married, like.
Yeah.
So, and I think, oh my gosh, so you're far too young for that. Like you can't get married. Me, like I did that. But I mean, that's just because that just doesn't suit her and her time of life. Like that's just not where she's at. I mean, she has a long-term boyfriend, and he's great and all this. They probably will get married eventually, but it's just not in her timeline right now. And then I have friends, for example, like all my friends are on different wavelengths. I have friends that are single. I have friends that have just come out of 8-year relationships. I have friends that are engaged. I have friends that have babies and aren't married. I have friends that live with their parents. I have friends that live with other friends, like or their boyfriends. Or I have one that was traveling around the world before COVID hit. Like no one is doing anything the same. Like I'm the only one of my friends that's married, and I have one other friend that has a baby. And then I have a friend that has like a 5-year-old, but like out with that, like everyone's just doing
their thing.
Their own thing. But that's the way it's meant to be. We're all supposed to be like, right, when we hit 25, we're all going to be married. And
honestly,
30, we'll have a baby. Like,
I don't know if you found this, but I never really was aware of it because I've always been career, because the nature of being a performer means like my whole life is invested in it. I'm always auditioning, I'm always training, I'm always perfecting my craft. But then I turned 25 and like nobody used to care that I was single. I'm actually not single now, ladies and gentlemen. Taken. Not married, but she actually has someone that's chosen to stick around for a bit, so that's all good, isn't it? Poor thud. But yeah, I find that everyone now, like family members especially, the conversation is always like, so when are you moving in? Are you dating anyone? What are your plans for the future? What do you do? And I was like, what? Like, have I got a stopwatch on my back all of a sudden? Like, I hit 25.
As soon as you get married, the number one question that follows that. And I'm like, one more person asks me that, and I will give you my ovaries on a plate. Stop asking me that question. I know it's just because. So what if I don't want to have children, or what if I can't have children, or what if? I don't know. There's a range of things. Like
many things. Like, why don't they just ask you about your exciting plans for your business? Are you going on holiday this year? What are you doing with the house? Like,
Exactly.
there's so many other questions.
I know, but like, to be honest, like, my family don't ask that. My family have never asked that question. It's normally it's people online, if anything. Like, my friends don't even ask that question either, because I think people in your real life know you and know where you're at and know that kind of stuff. But it's online, people are like, oh my god, when you're having a baby. And I think it's funny because quite a lot of people that I know on social media all got married at the same time as me. Like, we're all got married in the same year, and every one of them has either pregnant or had a baby. Nah.
I think the important bit of information people are forgetting here is that once that thing arrives, it's there for 18 plus, people say 18 plus years. I'm 25, I still phone my mum on the regular, most days, needing help with things. So
30 years, it's at least 30 years these days.
Yeah, like,
you have that. Like, you can get divorced, but your child is there for the next 30 years.
Like, that's not going anywhere. Like, we need to remember this fact.
I know. It's funny because, like, my sister and her boyfriend just got a dog. One of my friends has a baby, and
I'm so jealous.
I'm just like, I don't want to be responsible for anyone else other than myself, and that's hard enough. Like, I'm not even responsible for my husband, he's responsible for himself. Like, there's no, as much as I am married, I still want to be able to be like, oh, by the way, I'm going to London next week for work, like, catch you Versace in a few days type of thing. Like, I don't want to be like, oh my god, somebody needs to watch the dog, or I can't do this because my baby, or, and I'm not saying that any of those things hold you back whatsoever, because they absolutely do not. I plan, like, when I do have a baby, or if I have a baby, that it's in a backpack and we're trekking, Nepal or somewhere, I don't know. But realistically, like, right now, it's not for me.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm such a free spirit, and I love the fact, like, I'm the same. I've got friends that have bought houses. I've got friends that are engaged. I'm 25. I live with a bunch of friends in London, rented accommodation. I'm living my best life. I can literally up and leave whenever I want. The nature of both of my jobs means that I can literally work wherever I want. And yeah, I'm with you. I love the fact that I'm not tied to anything right now, because once you are tied down, you're tied down. Like, that's where you are. I think it's one of the most important things about your 20s that we're not told about enough, is to enjoy the fact that you're not glued to something.
Yeah, and I think it's funny though as well, because tying that in with being married, for example, like, people are like, oh, you're settling down, like, you have, like, you're married and you have your house and all the rest of it. And I'm like, what? I decided to legally bind myself to someone because I think they're a good idea to stick around with forever. Yeah, but, you know, if I want to go to Dubai next week, COVID's not in the picture, then I'm going to Dubai next week. Or if I decide I want to do this, then I'm going to do this. If I want to get absolutely, I don't know, do whatever the heck I want, then I'm going to do it. Like, and I think it's with, like, women being, like, not a stereotypical, like, housewife.
Yeah.
Or like, which, if you want to be a housewife, by all means be a housewife, but that's not for me. I'm very much like, Marco, can you hoover? Because I have a video to edit. Like,
I know the only kind of housewifey thing in inverted commas, I actually enjoy doing is cooking, and that's because I'm a foodie. But washing, oh my god, get in the bin. I would actively pay someone to wash, dry and iron my clothes because I hate it.
Yeah, I have lived in this house for 3.5 years. I have been married for 2, and my iron and ironing board are still in the packaging. And that is not a lie. I will physically show you that if you need to do it.
I love that. I found a really good trick though. You can just use your straighteners. Like, if you're wearing something that's a bit creased, just put your straighteners on it. You don't need to iron that stuff.
Or you just wear gym clothes and it doesn't need iron.
The joys of Lycra.
I know. It's so great.
Oh, I love that so much, because I keep getting told off for not owning an iron and I just refuse.
Yeah.
That's the one level of adulting I'm not ready to hit yet. Speaking about anti-adulting, I wanted to bring up the subject of Harry Potter because I needed someone that was as passionate about Harry Potter as I am. So first of all, what is your house?
Oh, Gryffindor. Hello.
Oh, I'm so glad. So I'm really gutted because my boyfriend's a Ravenclaw, and I just don't know how I feel about it. Like, it was really a red flag at one point.
I think I'd rather have a Slytherin over a Ravenclaw.
Yeah, me too. I'd rather us be like the antithesis of one another. Like, my best friend's a Slytherin, but we can be like, let's choose a good Slytherin.
Opposites attract.
Exactly. But a Ravenclaw, like, you're not even a Hufflepuff. At least Hufflepuffs are yellow and they're cute and they're like the nice ones, aren't they? Yeah. What is a Ravenclaw? What's the point? Sorry to any Ravenclaws, but
who knows?
Which is your favourite book / film? They could be different.
So I actually haven't read the books in so long. Like I haven't read the books in at least 10 years, and that is showing my age more than anything.
I really want to reread them. My best friend is rereading them currently, and then I think I might join on the train.
Might do that. Oh, that's such a good
It's a
idea.
great way to get your books in because you know they're going to be good.
It is. What is my favourite movie? I'm going to say the middle ones. I'm going to say like 3, 4, 5 are kind of the ones for me. The first two they're cute and they're nice to watch, but they're just so young, and it's a different vibe. And then the last ones are really dark, so I like the balance in the middle. I definitely like kind of 3, 4, 5 is probably where I'm at.
Yeah, it's like the glory years of high school, isn't it? I really hated year 7 and 8, but then like 9 and 10 was the real fun, and then year 11 was like the stress of when you're 13 to 15 was the prime time, which I think is the same for the Potter films, isn't it?
Yeah. I loved high school. Hated uni, but loved high school.
That's so interesting. I guess I was a bit of both. I didn't mind high school, but it wasn't my favourite. I think I really came into my own when I went to college, uni. That was more of my...
I loved high school. We had like the table, we were just very much like, this is where we sit, nobody else sit there, like, and we just had like this really good kind of friends, and it was just like, I just loved high school, and there was always kind of stuff to do, and like at the weekend there was always just, a lot of good stuff going on, and I had a really good group of friends. Like I didn't have like any like questionable characters in my life, and if I ever did, they never lasted very long for obvious reasons, but really good like crowd of friends. And then uni, I actually went to uni with a couple of friends.
Oh, that's nice.
We did the same course, and then we met. It's so funny because I'm like, I made a friend at uni. We like adopted like one friend.
One person was allowed into the special circle.
She was allowed in, but she had a twin. So we got So we got 2 friends at uni.
So a bonus.
I know. So, and then I feel like uni was like I enjoyed the course for the most part, but it's also so stressful, and at the same time you're trying to suss out what you're doing with your life. And uni was just very much like I went to it, did it, and left. I didn't do any extra activities or any of the uni nights outs or anything like that. Like I still stuck with my high school friends, and like the friends I went to uni with, there was just like we just did our own thing. I'm so glad I went to uni, glad I got my degree and stuff like that, and I enjoy psychology. Like I still keep up to date with it, I love it. But yeah, high school was it. I loved it.
High school was where it was at. Would you say that your psychology degree helps you a lot with what you do now as a job? Because I think the mental side is the biggest obstacle, isn't it, with fitness and wellness?
Yeah, I mean, it helps me in both ways. It helps me in like understanding other people and understanding like what people necessarily want, or like giving people advice and things like that, but it also helps me when it comes to like my own mental sanity. You've got to think like when people are nasty, when people are trolling and all this kind of stuff, I'm like, that is not my problem. That is all within you. Like you're projecting onto me. It's nothing to do with me, because I'm a nice person. I'm very positive.
There you are. And I think it's so important, like you said before, to be so solid and confident in who you are that external noise can't bother you. And somebody told me a while ago, because I'm such a sensitive soul, I'd like to say that I don't care what people think, but I am such a little marshmallow. And honestly, I hate myself for it, but we're working on it. But someone said to me, any emotion that you project onto people, so like anger, it's only hurting you, it's not hurting them. I think that's such a powerful thing. And my other favourite quote is, don't be bitter, be better.
Yes, for sure. What's your star sign?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. I don't know what that is, but I do know that the amount of Scorpios I have attracted into my life that are the most sensitive people is so
they're so touchy.
I attract sensitive people all the time, so I think I attract people very much like my sister. So my sister is so sensitive. She's an emotional ball of a human being. Like she is. She's so sensitive. She would like, you say boo and she'll cry. I love her to bits. Like, my best friends like that. My guy best friends like that, and it's just like I'm the complete opposite of that. I'm just like, I couldn't care less about anything.
What's your star sign?
I'm Libra, but I don't know.
So you've got the balance. But I'm a bit of a star sign nerd. So you have 3. Mm-hmm. So your sun sign, which is the month you're born in, which will be your Libra, that is how you want to be seen by the world.
Yeah.
And then your moon sign is how you emotionally process the world. So mine is Virgo, which explains why I'm like an overthinker, a perfectionist, and a bit of a marshmallow. And then your rising sign is how others perceive you. So mine is a Leo. So people view me as really confident and outgoing and bold, which supports how I want to be in the world as a Sagittarius, which is like a big, crazy, free-spirited, I don't give a damn. But then my emotions are like, no, you really care. You can't do this. Help. And she's like crying in the corner with a tub of Ben and Jerry's and like a box of tissues, like, please help me.
You can think of the most like laid back, couldn't care less, lying on a lilo, drinking like a milkshake. That's me. And it's so funny, like when people like say stuff to you or like say something negative to you or somebody like shouts at you or whatever, and I'm just like, are you okay? Like, I'm so good over here, like, doing my thing, and like I do you know what? Sometimes it's bad though. Like sometimes there has been times when I'm like, Steph, you have to tap into some kind of emotion because you're sounding a bit cold. My motto is like, but did you die? Like, did you die?
Yeah, did you die though?
So for example, Marco, clean freak. If I have spilled something, it's like, oh my god, it's
the world is ending.
And I'm sitting there like, you're gonna cause yourself an aneurysm. Like, do you want to just chill out a bit? Like, take a breather. I'll wipe it up. Like, it's not a big deal. And he's like, oh my god, it's so messy. And I'm like, but did anybody die? No, they did not. From that aspect, it can be quite bad because I'm just like, whatever. If nothing bad happened, then it's a good thing, and that's maybe not the best.
We need to bring in some of that Libra energy and balance it out.
Just the Steph energy. And I've always been like that. It's so funny. The amount of like childhood videos we have, and I'm just like, hi everyone, like what's happening? Whatever, like not phased.
A YouTuber from day one.
By the way, seriously, because my mum actually found this like old video recorder thing from years ago, and we got all the tapes changed to a CD disc, and we were watching it not long ago, and I'm literally like, so everyone, this is my villa on holiday, and I'm like, oh, it's so funny, and I'm just like, wow, like I'm so confident as a child, moderately confident as a teenager, but I've had my moments, and then now I'm just like back to that child. It's just like, hello.
Hello everybody.
Take me or leave me. I actually might make like a YouTube video of my old childhood videos and just be like,
oh my goodness, please do. I think that'd be a really good, I'd love to watch that. I love old home movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're so interesting because you're just like, wow, that child.
That was me.
That was me. Sometimes you watch them, or like my mum keeps finding out loads of these horrendous childhood photos of me, and the one was where I'd like dug out my dressing up box and put everything on at once. So I'd got like a princess dress, a devil's apron, I'd got a feather boa tied around my head like the sunshine from the Teletubbies. I'd got my dad's wellies on, but then I'd got the like shoes. Literally what decided to take a picture of this and put it all over Facebook for the world to see. And then the amount of people that were just like, oh, that makes sense, as in like that makes sense why I'm the way I am now.
You're that kind of character, and my childhood photos would be me with nothing on, pants on my head. I'd put pants on my head, and I always pretended I was smoking breadsticks. Walk around in the nude with pants on my head, like smoking a breadstick, like, take a picture of me. Like, that is not legal to do anymore, but that also explains a lot. Preface it, I have never smoked or done drugs in my life. You know, I don't do that.
Me either, and I never understood why we did that as kids. Why did we all so? I think smoking just seemed cool, didn't it? 'Cause it's what adults did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the same. I've never even tried one, so I couldn't even comment.
Yeah, I won't lie. I did try a cigarette when I was 18, like one time, and thought, why did I do that to myself? But like drugs and stuff, not for me. Because I would be that person that literally took the tiniest bit and would die. Like, and I know for a fact. I know for a fact it would be on the BBC. They'd be like, stupid idiot, social media chick, naturally Stefanie, goes against her healthy lifestyle, snorted cocaine, died.
She did.
That would be me. And I'm like, do you know what? I can't even imagine me on drugs, because right now I feel like I am a ball of energy. If I added to that,
energy is like high. So if you like added to it, like where would that even go?
Yeah, I can't do energy drinks and things because there's
coffee is my drug of choice.
I literally went 26 years never drinking coffee because I don't need it like for that purpose. Yeah. But then I started making that whipped coffee that was all over TikTok, and now I have to add it to my protein shake. But it's because it helps me drink the protein shake. So then there's that. So maybe I'm so talkative right now because I had that whilst on this call.
And you're like, I know. I think I started the coffee life out of just like an Instagram trend and wanting to try things, and now I'm like, 4 years in, sucked into this hole of caffeine addiction. But we move.
We move on in life.
To finish on a bang, my final question for you would be, what was one thing you wish you were taught in school?
Oh, there's actually quite a few. I think
it's a hard one.
It's a hard one because the first thing that came to my mind was like accounts.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to think of a more creative answer than that. So, I mean, probably just that there are so many different things you can do in life that aren't just the norm. So you don't have to go to uni, as much as I am actually glad I went to uni. But I think there's no blueprint for life. There's no timestamp in life. There's no you have to do this by this age, or have accomplished this, or you have to do this as a career. I think that needs to be more made aware, is that like you can literally do whatever you want and be whoever you want. It doesn't have to fit into any kind of mold that society puts out as like a template of your life timeline.
Did you ever have one of those career counsellors at school?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Like, honestly, I think everyone I've ever mentioned this to, it's just pure trauma, because I remember being like sat in a cupboard, and they were it literally felt like a cupboard with this old man that was like, okay, so your qualifications are this, this and this, therefore you're going to be a banker. And I was like, 14-year-old me was like, but I want to sing and dance. And they were like, no, singers and dancers don't make money. You're never going to London. You're never having dreams. You're going to work a 9-to-5 job and wear grey and cry. And I was literally just like, I don't want that.
Yeah. And what I think, like, when so I'm only 2 years older than you, so we probably had a very similar like schooling system. But when I was in school, it was the same thing. It was very much like, okay, so you got this, this, and this in your exams. What are you thinking about doing at uni, and then what are you wanting to do after that? I remember when I had to fill out my like application for uni. When I was younger, up until the age of 15, I wanted to be a stuntman or MI5. I have never wanted a space job. I've wanted to either be a spy and like an actual professional assassin, or like a stuntman.
I can see that though, because you're badass and you'd be ruthless, so you'd get the job done.
I'd kill everyone, so I'd be okay. So I, like, very seriously, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm just gonna do something fun and cool and different. So I've always wanted to do something just different and just be like, I cannot do the norm. Like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So, but then of course you get to 17 and they're like, right, what are you actually going to do? And it was I had 3 applications open for the fire brigade. The fire brigade at one university you could go to like do like that kind of training. Then there was geography, because that's my subject I seem to do best in school. And then there was psychology, because that was my second subject. And I thought, psychology, and we'll go into criminal psychology and we'll deal with all the nut jobs, and that's what we'll do. And I was like, cool, we'll go with that. And it was literally last minute, like you had 5 minutes, and I just went, that one, and just clicked it. And that was it, done. I was like, cool, go be a psychologist now. Then you just go through uni and you're just like, wonderful, I'm doing this. And I was doing like law with it, and I'm like, this is so so fun.
Yeah.
And then I get to 3rd year and I start like seeing like Instagram becomes a thing, and then YouTube, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And then there was the whole Freely the Banana Girl movement, and then all this fitness element started, and then I was just like, this is so cool. Then I started getting into all of that, and here we are
today, ladies and gentlemen.
Love it.
Make your life what you want it to be.
Oh, for sure. It's not easy by any means, let's put that out there. I'm going to just do it like social media for a job. Cool, set up an account, be it, and within 6 months you're high flying and doing everything you've ever wanted. I'm 4.5 years down the line, and I'm still like, right, cool, my 5-year plan is still to be achieved. Then there's a new 5-year plan, there's a new one, then there's a new one.
And there's so much planning that goes behind it that people don't see. Like, people think you just post a photo there and then, write the caption, hashtags, there you go. But it's not, you have to have content plan in advance. You have to know what your niche is. You have to research your area. To create content can take days upon days. A lot of people have to backlog their content and then plan it in advance. And then you've got stories and reels and blimey, it's just a never ending list of editing and creating. And then there's all the boring side, like analytics, and it's way harder than people think, for sure.
Yeah, but you can do it if you want to.
100%. But like, if somebody wanted to pursue the career that you wanted to do, well, that you now do, what would your piece of advice be?
Find your niche and be unique in it. Don't try and copy other people. Obviously take inspiration, see what people have done to succeed and that kind of thing, but you have to have your own thing. Be consistent, and then just tag and hashtag the living daylight to get people to see you, to get people to follow you, to get noticed by other brands and other influencers and all this kind of stuff. Have fun with it, but also be very aware that it is a job, it's a career, it's a business.
Yeah, it's business minded.
It's I would love to have done business at uni, but here we are. Yeah, that's probably it.
I think that's really key. I think, like you said, the ultimate thing is that it is a business at the end of the day. So even though it's creative, it's that blend of having that level-headedness to balance out the spontaneity and creativity that you want to make into something. I absolutely loved talking to you. I've got so many things I want to talk about, and I just...
We'll have to do part 2 then.
Part 2.0, 100%. Could you tell everyone where to find you, plug yourself away, plug all the amazing things that you've achieved and do, so that people can get on board with that? Because honestly, guys, I knew Steph from her OG days, and she hasn't changed. She's one of the most authentic, beautiful people you'll ever meet, and she's so much fun, and she really does care about her work. And I think
we haven't even met in real life yet. It's shocking.
I know. We kept meaning to make it. There's so many London events where it's meant to happen, and we've just not made it happen.
I know.
We need to meet for a big fat burger when all of this is over.
Yes. But you can find me at Naturally Stefanie, and that's spelled with an F for those who do not know. I'm on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. You can find my cookbook and lifestyle book on Amazon under Naturally Stefanie. And if you need a kick up the bahookie and you want to get your fitness grind on, get that dream body, get that mentality, get your mind, body and soul going, then veganaesthetics.co.uk. But you can find that linked through all my socials anyway. So come along, say hello, and be my new friend.
Join the party, people. Join the party.
Thank you so much for having me on. It's been so much fun.
Oh my God, no. And you were just one of the first people I wanted, because it's been so nice to see your journey and transformation. But I also just think you have so many interesting stories to tell.
Thank you. They're not that interesting, but here we are.
I think so. I think you're smashing life, babe.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so cute.
I try. I'm a little melon. Look at me.
Bye.
Mwah. Ciao.